Okay, so now what we want to do is let's create another layer to the map. What do you say? Because I don't want to write on the physical map itself because you're going to select a different cell. That means I got to erase this cell. So what I've created is this new I guess how about select map? How about SEL selected map? All right, how about that? That's probably a better name. So this is going to be. Let's come down here. And first thing you do before you do anything with images is call uh, image free. And for those who are just watching this, this is a function in my grab bag of procedures I have out there called static. And it does an image check to make sure this is an image, and if it is, then free it. So after that sentence, that we know that we have a clean variable here. So what we're going to do is create image, and oh goodness, I didn't want that there. Sometimes I thought I got down here. Okay, so create image, and we're going to supply them our number. Well, I have comments on using this the way I'm using it as opposed to using PB_any. And I guess I'll go ahead and put it in here. I have personal problems with PB_any. It's not fast enough. And if I were to put this in a iteration of 10,000 items, then and try to get a selected value back out of PB_any as fast as that loop runs, it screws up. So my caution to you, although PB_any is great, use it sparingly, use it when you need to use it. And there are times where you just need it. Just give me a number. I don't care. And if you use it in onesies and twosies kind of thing, it's not a big deal. But when you stick it inside an iterated loop, there are times that it doesn't iterate or create the image properly. So that's just my observation. I've never turned that in as a bug. I don't know if it's a bug. It could be my code, but I don't know. I've found that if I issue the numbers and they're static numbers, like that selected map ID number will never change. All we're doing was playing with the image on the other side of it. So anyhow, take that for whatever it's worth. Okay, so now we need the width and height. So we're going to use image width, and we can use image height, and then 32 because we want that alpha channel in there, and pound, what is that? Pound PB something. I'm going to go look it up because I think it is image, create image. There we go. PB image transparent. Okay. Over here, please. Image transparent. Okay, so now we need our image. And let's come up here. I put this directly below build map because I don't want to, we need to rebuild the map, don't get me wrong. But our map, let's see, here's our map size. Game map, that's our value. So what we only want to do things once in our code. I stress that more times than you're probably willing to listen. Um, but you, the more times you write the same code, the bigger your problem slowly becomes. So what we've done here is I'm going to put the red square on this guy, and then up here, let's go. Well, first let's do this in order. I'm going to copy this just because I support plagiarism of my own code. And what we're going to do is now we've got this great new blank image, and we're going to put him in here, and I'm going to draw that red hex, and because I know exactly where that red hex is going to go, and I believe that was hex red, so I kept my naming nice. But we don't want this to start at 0, 0. What is our x and y that we just looked up? That's going to be select point x and y. Select point x and select point y. Okay, now, alternatively, what I was saying earlier about resizing, I could come in here and do that. And now I don't need this, okay? Because this will resize this image and start it at X and Y, and then our select map now has a red hex on it. The whole thing is blank, but it's got a red hex. So now we need to redraw our map, don't we? So now we'll come and call this guy. That's why I put him below there. We'll come in here and call build map. Okay, so what we want to do here is let's come down here and say if is image then what we're going to do is we can say if selected map has been drawn, then he's there. Then by goodness, let's draw that map on top of the stack, right? And now we have our red hex, ECTED map. There we go. Now we've drawn our new layer on top of our map, and we've put it in the system. Well, now here's a big question for you, and I would normally, after this is all done, come into here and say, okay, I'm gonna image free that selected map hex, but I don't want to because there could be other reasons we want to redraw the map, and we want that to be there until they've selected another one. Okay, so now we've nested the code all up here. Come down to our control loop. What are we doing down here? So canvas map, and we need to say, oh goodness, I put that into the ScrollArea. That's not right. All right, so take that out of there. It's always good to refresh your look at your code. Okay, so we have the left click of the canvas map, and then that then calls our select hex. Well, let's see what we get. Well, we're going to get a crash, huh? Ah, yes. You're calling this guy. We should put declares in. All right, hold on. Declare. And then let's go, since these are functions that we're going to call. That's one of the other reasons I always put them in another sheet for, calculations is I can load that way up high and never have to really worry about where I call it from. But when you stick everything in a single uh, procedure like this or a code sheet, then you're run into issues like this. And to be fair, there's nothing wrong with this. It depends on how your brain works and how you like to do code. That's code is extremely versatile. Okay, so these are using these structures. So I'm going to go ahead and put this way up here underneath the structures. The only thing we need to mess with here really is to make sure is that map size and map point are existing prior to declare. And oh, I have a syntax error. Oh, goodness, yes, I can't spell. Okay, how about that? How about if I spell declare without a C? There we go. It's like I've always said, these compilers just don't have a sense of humor. All right, so let's take a nice empty square. I like this one. Oh, look at that. We are just that little half off, aren't we? Okay, so I guess maybe I fixed this earlier. We know what the half is, right? Let's see, let's come into you and let's go ahead and say, okay, if you're 0, okay, that should hopefully do it. Let's see. Even gets the extra half maybe and not the other. Oh, let's see, I don't know. We added it. Oh, look, it lines up beautifully. And notice that when I select a different hex, the hex moves. And it's moving because we only have one selected map. We clear it, we draw our little hex, and then we're not actually changing our map. This is sitting on top of, it's another layer to the map. And that's the beauty of PNGs, where you can do this sort of thing and stack them on top of each other and be able to do things like we're doing right here. And so now we've selected our hex. I think that's pretty killer. Okay. Yes. Killer is the right word. All right. So now let's do some more stuff on the canvas. And if I bring up the canvas gadget over here, as you can see, there's an awful lot more to go. But this kind of concludes a thought in our development process. So what I'm going to do is do some thinking on what I want to extend this with. And I think it's going to be things like adding in a cursor, changing the cursor when you come upon our map, and then maybe putting in a custom cursor. That might be pretty cool. We have all these default cursors we can use. Those are all the standard ones you're used to seeing in life, the hand, the busy sign, that sort of thing. And yeah, for right now, I think that kind of concludes this first little set of videos on ScrollArea and our game development piece as we're moving on. And we'll pick it up again shortly.